subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
What's in governmental accounting? They don't study and they just test that a lot. So I know a few people who were expert in everything. They left governmental accounting and they failed. They got like a 55 or something, right? So I recommend you going with the governmental accounting and all those core areas in which they are tested. And if you go on the website, AICPA website, there's a blueprint. And actually, behind on the back of the book, if you open, there is a blueprint which you can use. There you go. Right? This one, right? Yeah, the FAR blueprint. Try to match your study schedule according to that. Okay, and focus on the right areas. It'll give you a good idea about what exactly they're testing. Because the thing is, the AICPA does not release any quote unquote syllabus. They won't say know this, and this is as close as it gets. And pretty much every other test prep out there are trying to take a stab at this might be tested. So you should probably just go along with the blueprint, and I think that'll be good. And for auditing, I don't know what do you think started for. Anyway, so they'll test a lot of cycles, a lot of audit procedures, audit report preparation, internal control. Those things. Once you start doing audit, right, it'll be very boring because at least with Reg and PEC or even FAR, you'll see numbers here and there. With audit, you won't see a single number, and that book is this big. So you better brace yourself before you read that book. But it's good. But it's very good information because when I took audit, that was the first time I'm studying audit. I didn't take a single audit class in my whole life. So the first time I saw audit, and when I saw that book, I was like, I don't think I can do this. But you just keep on doing it, and the more you practice, the better you'll get at it. And PEC, again, like I said, what if I probably be friends to you guys, but I'll do my best to make it. I already shared this with Shripal, so you can probably go over this, guys. Basically, 50% MCQs and 50% SIMs, right? That is the basic structure. It's the same for FAR, Reg, and audit. But for PEC, it is not like that. There's a written communications part, which makes up 15% of your exam. So, which basically 3 essays. You should allocate around 1 hour for that. And I recommend you need to practice. There's a certain pattern. If you go on Becker in Sims, there's pretty much for PEC, there's usually simulation 1 and simulation 2, right? Pretty much all simulation 2 for PEC are all written communications. You have to do this. There was this one website that I was seeing where the guy who got all excellent scores in the real exam, in Sims and in MCQs, but he failed. He got a 74 because he didn't do good on the written communication. So written communication is very key. You have to nail it. And again, it just comes with practice. So one more thing I want to talk about is authoritative literature. I don't know how many guys look at the authoritative literature. It is very important. Usually in FAR, audit and Reg, you will see 1 question for sure. It's called a research sim. You might see 2, but usually you will see 1. It's very rare for someone to pass the exam if they don't do good in that question. So that question is very important, and the only way you can get it is by doing more practice. At first it might seem daunting because and the authoritative literature on the exam is at least 10 times bigger than what you see in Becker. So in Becker, if you go into the root, if you just keep on digging, it'll just say file not available. It won't be like that for the real exam. In the real exam, you will see every single thing, and it's very daunting. So you make sure you know how to do it. And my suggestion is, while you're doing the sims, you can look at the keyword and go back and reread the question and see how they derive that keywords from the question. And I think that is the best way for you to understand how to answer the authoritative literature questions. Because I'm telling you, it is very important. And one more thing is, if you get good at using authoritative literature, especially for audit, you will see some sims which are not exactly in our portion. You can just open the FASB, or you can open the AICPA guide or the PCMOB guide and just see how you need to solve it, and you can get it. So you need to be very comfortable using the authoritative literature. So that is my recommendation. And also the AICPA also has, so first of all, I also want to talk about the mock exams. So the mock exams are very, very, very important. There is no way. I only know 1 guy who basically passed the exam without doing mocks. But do you really want to take 1 guy as an example for your studying? I don't think so, right? So the majority of the people, when they pass the exam, they did take the mock exam. So the Becker has 3 mocks. So the first mock is not a representative of the exam. The first mock is only to test and find your weak areas. So the first mock you have to do the first mock. It can be daunting when you see like 70 questions and like 8 sims at once, and when you're barely doing like 30-40 MCQs at a time. But you just have to sit for 4 hours. You should just treat it like a real exam and do it. I know a couple of people who are scared after doing the first test and said, I just hit submit, and they get like 15% on the exam and they feel demotivated. Don't do that. Just stick on it. Just sit for 4 hours and just do it. Okay, just get it done. And don't be discouraged by your first mock scores. Okay. Sometimes when I took it, the first time I took it, I got like 60%. Okay, that didn't put me down. I know some people who got like, I know one of my friends, the first time he took it, he got a 40% on it. But he passed far with like an 85, 87. So I recommend you just keep on doing. And the first score you get doesn't mean anything. It just means you know your baseline, you know where to start, and just work up from there. It doesn't mean that if you don't get 65% or 75%, 70% on your first attempt, you'll fail the exam. It has nothing to do with that. Don't feel demotivated, just do it. And also, Becker, they love mnemonics, right? There are so many mnemonics. You guys are going through the book. You might think it's funny, but in the exam, like you will think of those mnemonics. For the puffer, the puffy, during the retained earnings or the statement of doing that stuff, it's very important. And the exam, when you go do it and you see those questions, those mnemonics, once they hit, like the questions will be very easy. So just make sure you know your mnemonics. And also, during middle of your prep, you might think, "Arey, is Becker enough?" They don't feel like that, but you guys getting started. So I think when you're deep into the your preparation, you'll be like, "Arey, is Becker enough?" There are so many other programs. There are Roger videos online that I'm pretty sure you saw. There are certain CPA or CPA Fast, Ninja, or forget all that. Okay, just do Becker. Okay, a lot of people I know are passed with Becker, and don't even bother using other preps. Becker just will tell you exactly what you need to know for the exam, and you just learn it and you ace it. That's it. Don't waste time doing any research on other prep material. Becker is enough for you to pass. Okay, and like I said, just keep on practicing. And you need to take your first mock exam at least 2.5 weeks before the test date. So that way, when you sit for the exam, you'll get that base score. And trust me, 1 week is enough for you to pull it up because you've already seen those concepts before. It's just a question of recollecting when you see the question in the mock exam. So just get your score, find your baseline, and just work from there. And Becker has pretty good statistics. He'll just tell you what score you got in each section. Just go back to that section and just keep practicing more. So I suggest you do that, and do like mock 2 around, I would say, a week and a half before the exam. And whether you want to do mock 3 is always up to you. But I usually recommend do at least 2 mocks. So because you know what you are getting, and trust me, the test screen on the real exam is the same thing as here. And on the exam, you will get this laminated sheets as scratch work, and you can also ask for calculator. You don't have to use the onboard calculator which is on the screen. You can actually ask for the calculator and they'll just give it to you. Or if you are not comfortable with that, those laminated sheets, you can just request 𝐒𝐻𝐵 for pen and paper. I'm pretty sure you've seen. You can handle this, and I really don't see the point in that. You can just use what you get. It just works. And the AICPA mocks. Please do that at least, I would say, 4 to 5 days before the real exam, and sometimes you'll be surprised. The sims on AICPA mock sometimes almost word for word will come. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but sometimes I've seen it happen. I got one like that, and my friend got something like that for a different subject. So I recommend you have to do the AICPA mocks. And AICPA mocks is very simple. They only have 10 MCQs per section, and they have I think 5 or 6 sims, and you just have to do it. And the thing is, the answers are not really clear. You can just look it up and then get it. And also one more thing I want to talk about. Last thing is the sims on Becker. They introduced this feature, I guess. Now for us it was new. For you guys, it's so what? It's already there. It's a feature called Skill Master. What it is, if you click on it, you will have Becker experts who analyze the question, who first teach you what that concept is, and then they'll teach you how to approach a question like that. And then from there they'll work and you'll get the answer. But the problem is each question they take like 25 minutes to solve. But I suggest if you don't know the subject, you should just probably sit and go through that. So yeah, I think that's about it. Any questions?
So on the prep.
So that's the way I prepared. So I just sort of broke it down and just made it easy for me to understand. So that's what I recommend. sorry, going back to your question.
Yeah.
I was not part-time. I was doing this full-time.
So my question was more like if you were working, like how did you attempt like all 4 H or like 2 H?
Okay, so actually one last thing I want to say before that. There are 4 Facebook groups that you have to join no matter. Everyone has Facebook. Okay, so there is a Facebook group for audit, Becker, FAR, and sorry, not Becker. The BEC, those 4 subjects that we have. The FAR, Reg, BEC, and audit. There are Facebook groups, and in that group you have full-time professionals. There are like around 5,000, 10,000 people who are currently pursuing CPA. And once in a while, I mean, every day they're throwing questions. And if you don't know anything, you can definitely ask the faculty here, they're right here, they'll help you. Or you can also put a question up over there. And over there, you can also see new questions. So I really recommend, they'll give you tips. Sometimes, someone who just took the exam, sometimes they'll just say, and they're asking these things on the exam. They are not supposed to say that, but sometimes they'll say, you might see it. But I really recommend you join those Facebook groups, and over there you can ask these questions. And since I did this full time, I wouldn't exactly know how you would balance time. But if I were you, at least sit like 3 hours every day, and on the weekends you have to sit at least 8 to 10 hours. I think that's probably the best way. Anything else? What was it?
How much time did you take for FAR?
Oh wow, that's a good question. So for FAR, I took. So that was in full time, like around 1.5 months. But I was like every day, writing. So again, so the best strategy is for me. This is true for pretty much any 4 subjects. You read it once with Becker while they're highlighting. Just go ahead and highlight. After that, you just give one quick read. After that, do the skills practice and watch those videos on skills practice, and then attempt the MCQs. Just keep on doing this all the way till the end. And after you're done with the last section, last module, go back to the first. So go back to F1, M1, read it again, and then attempt the sims. So that way, it is like a double review.
Yeah.
And that is the best way to do it. Don't do sims immediately. This was my strategy. I'm not saying follow this, but this is what worked for me and a couple of my other friends as well. So first do this, do the MCQs, get familiar with the subject. After you're done with everything, then just go back and do the sims, and that will probably build your understanding also.
And like the simulations which are there in Becker,
Yes.
are they really tough in actual exam?
They are, okay, so for FAR, the FAR in the Becker is actually a little bit more challenging than the real exam, but it is good for your understanding. In the exam, they won't ask you that. That doesn't mean I'm not trying to lower the difficulty of the exam, but it's not at that level, but still you need to be able to answer that level. Like, that makes sense. And like I said, the AICPA questions, you just have to do those questions. Anything else?
So written communications.
So the written communication is, so the BEC portion, like I said, the written communication, there is a format that you need to learn. The first thing, it's in the thing, you need to summarize what they want and say your solution. And you write 3 paragraphs explaining why that thing is true or false at each point. Explain why that thing is true or false, and then you come up with the conclusion. So that's the way I would do it.
So are there any chances to test theory questions in the written communication?
Yes, that's what that is. They'll be like, for example, there's an IT section. They'll be like, well, we are thinking about this strategy, like a backup for our thing. Could you suggest the best backup? Like, what are the best way to backup or something like that? And then, that stuff is already there in our textbooks. You can just read and know. So in a way, it is a theory type of question. But it's more like it used to be where they're only testing your grammar and English skills and punctuation and all that. Now it is a little bit more than that. I'm talking about like a couple of years ago. They used, like, as long as you can write a normal sentence, they don't care what you wrote. And now they're also looking at content and stuff. So you can't just write PS.
They should present our answer in point wise or in
paragraph form. If you actually go look on the Becker Sims, they give practice answers. Try to write something like that. And it's obviously their answers will be a little bit more polished. We can't write like that, but try to emulate that. That's my suggestion.
Which is the best combination you suggest in among 4 subjects we have right?
Yeah.
So
Which subject to take first?
yeah.
in the order that Becker recommends, FAR, audit, reg, BC. That is what I would recommend. But since I had no choice, I took reg, FAR, audit, BC. So, but that usually in the Becker website, that's usually the order is presented. Right? FAR, audit, reg, and BC. So I would probably do it in that order.
So in audit, when you come, we recently I was heard that they are started testing journal entries in simulation.
They've always done that, not just now. They test adjusting journal entries in audit.
Rectifications
Sorry?
rectifications kind of.
Yeah, adjusting journal entries, they test that. It won't be as intense as the one that you see in FAR, but you should be able to do it if you did FAR. That's why they recommend you do FAR first and then audit.
So what about the length of questions in simulations? Do you find the time is good for that?
Yes, it's all about time management, right? And like I said, that is why you need to do the mock exam, because if you know, because I can sit here and I can tell you spend this much time in this, but that won't work for you, right? So unless you get in there and do those questions, do those mock exams, you will know. Then you can understand. Okay, I'm spending around 40 minutes on the first test lit when I should be spending only 35 minutes. You try to manage that, and keep in mind pretty much every single. So there are some. Obviously, the MCQs are around maybe 66, 67 questions. Not all questions count. Keep that in mind. You might be spending 5 minutes on a question that doesn't count. So you just wasted 5 minutes. So my recommendation would, especially for FAR, some questions you can just answer in less than 20 seconds. You just know it, put it, go to the next question. Especially true in audit, because it's either you know it or you don't know it, right? Because, like I said, there's no calculation in audit. There is sampling section is it, but they usually don't go that far into the thing. But you need to get, do the mock exam and figure out your pace. Otherwise, you can't go. Any more questions?
So apart from Becker, you didn't refer any other things?
Apart from Becker, for me, you're asking me. I had few things, but I didn't really spend time. What happened was when I was looking at other material. Problem is it kind of collided with Becker and usually Becker has a certain format, right? Obviously they don't follow that format. They'll take a certain section from this, they'll take a certain section from that, and they'll call that one chapter. So that is one thing that you'll find challenging, is because for you, Becker has a proper structure. I'm not saying other people don't have structure, but Becker has a certain structure that you probably are used to. And as you, the more study, other type of study material you get involved, that structure might be different and that'll confuse you more. So that's why I recommend just staying with one, and Becker is the best one.
And we should we remember that failures, key limitation?
Some, yeah. You don't have to know what is a cutout for age, those things individual, what tax bracket, you don't have to know that. But there are some phase outs which you need to know, and if you do the reg, they'll tell you those things which you need to know. And I wrote a red flag.
Yeah, when you don't type in TCJ is not there.
I'm sorry, can you repeat one more time?
Tax cuts.
Yeah, no. What was your question? I didn't hear your question.
So when you gave your exam, I think TCJ is not there.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I wrote reg first. Because I didn't want to deal with the TCA. Yeah. Anything else, guys?